Hello everybody, my name is Kat Bowser. I'm your resident fantasy therapist, and welcome to my channel. Those of you who are brand new, welcome. Those of you who are returning, welcome back. For those of you who are new, my name is Kat Bowser. I'm a licensed therapist, but I am also an author working on my first novel. And on my channel, I like to dig into what I consider to be the heart of all writing, which is the characters. The heart of the characters is in their psychology. So that is the angle we take with everything on my channel. We look at it from a psychological angle, because I feel that really helps to make a more well-rounded world. Hi everybody, so before we get into today's video, I just wanted to announce we have officially hit 50 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for helping my channel grow. So that means we are going to be having our first giveaway. So make sure you stick around until the end of the video and I'll tell you how you can enter. For today's topic, I wanted to address something I've been thinking about for a while. I'm sure you guys have seen the unpopular booktube opinions, and I thought I would do an unpopular writing opinions video. Now, as with all opinions, these are strictly mine. You don't have to agree with them, and in fact, most of you probably won't, but I think these are topics that are fun to talk about, so that's what we're doing. So, right off the bat, one piece of very popular writing advice is your first draft is going to suck. I hate this advice. I really deeply hate this advice. I do think it is rooted in good faith. I think it's given to help, but I really don't like it. Reason being, when you do your first draft, you are pouring your heart and soul into this work. You are writing what you feel at the moment is the best you can about a story and characters that you are genuinely passionate about. And being told that all that work is going to quote unquote suck, that is very disempowering, and I don't like it. I think there are other ways to get across that your first draft is not what you should turn in. Because I definitely agree with that. Your first draft is going to need help. It's going to need polishing. You're going to discover things about your writing style that you need to fix. You're going to discover things about your writing style that you love. And that's all part of the process of writing. But telling someone that all this hard work they've done over the past months, sometimes years, is going to suck? Come on, we can do better than that. I know we can do better than that. I know this is probably one of the most popular pieces of advice I see. I don't agree with it. I think we need to be more encouraging than we are. The second piece of advice that I don't necessarily agree with is the avoid adverbs like the plague. Don't agree with it. Adverbs, kind of like everything, can be used well or they can be used horribly. And for myself, I actually tend to view adverbs, they're almost like a checkpoint for me. When I go through my work and I see an adverb, it makes me look at the scene more closely, because adverbs tend to pop up when you're doing more telling than you're doing showing. And so that's usually a sign to me, okay, is this the best way I can describe this scene? Most of the time it's not, but sometimes it is. I think particularly with ironic scenes, like for example, I wouldn't write "she smiled happily" because the smile part is kind of a given. But if I wrote "she smiled sadly," that creates a different feel. And so in that case, I would probably stick with that. But we don't have to have all the hate against adverbs that we do. Okay, third piece of popular writing advice is that you have to write every day. I don't think you do. I definitely think if you can, you should, but people have lives. I know that a popular bit of advice is that if writing is important to you, you should make time for it, and I agree with that. But I also think there is such a thing as you write so much you burn yourself out, and that's not a good thing either. Myself personally, writing is not only something I want to do for a career, it is a hobby. I love doing it. Even if I'm not writing on my current novel, I'm doing some kind of writing because it's fun for me. But that's not the case with everybody. Some people, you like to go hiking, you could go swimming, you have your own other hobbies that you like to do, and it's important to engage in those too. I think people can neglect their self care if they become so obsessed with this. I have to write every day ideal. So, kind of like the adverbs, I see why people suggest it, but I don't think it always applies. All right. This one you guys have probably heard me talk about in a couple of videos, but I'm going to bring it up again here because it seems to be pretty unpopular. Not every character needs a redemption arc. Now, because I've covered this before, I'm not going to go into great detail about it, but I will say giving characters redemption has become very popular. I know why it's become popular, but you're going to have some characters that sometimes it's okay to leave them being an ass, because some people are. I mean, some people are not going to change because they don't want to change. And that's okay. That can be a fun character. I love characters that are just so deplorable that you can't help but root for the good guy to finally take them out. That is a lot of fun too. And I just think we have been so flooded with this idea of, well, everybody needs a redemption arc, everybody needs a redemption arc, that we have forgotten how much fun doing just a strictly deplorable, horrible person can be. That's fun too. Now, if you want to do a redemption arc, by all means, definitely do that. But I also advise people look at, does this character really need a redemption arc? Can we effectively write a redemption arc for them? Because if you give me a redemption arc that doesn't feel earned, you're probably not going to win me over with it. All right, next one, platonic relationships. I need more of these. Romantic relationships have always been very popular in fiction, and we can see why. I mean, watching a character fall in love with someone and grow and want to defend them, protect them, that's always wonderful to see. But there's more than just the romantic type of love. There are platonic relationships, family relationships. There is a love for your country. There is a love for your morals. There are all types of different types of love. And I want to see more of the platonic. That is honestly one of my favorite things to read in fiction. Not characters that fall in love with each other and want to get married, spend the rest of their life with each other, but characters who stick together strictly because they're friends, strictly because they enjoy one another's company, and they're like their missing siblings, so to speak. I am all over those. I love those. And I think the reason I do is because it's very easy to kind of picture a character dying or willing to die for like their lover or their wife, their husband, whatever. It's harder when it's just a friend because that is a special type of connection. I'm probably going to quote this wrong, but it's one of my favorite quotes, so I'm hoping I get it right. Homer actually stated, as far as we know anyway, that it is not a matter of dying for a friend being difficult. It is a matter of finding a friend worth dying for. Love it. You will find that all in my writing. I also love family relationships. I want to see families that are semi-functional. The dysfunctional family is a popular trope. I know why it's a popular trope. It can be an enjoyable trope. I like it. It shows up a little bit in my stuff, but I love the strong family relationship. I love the parent to child. I love the child to parent. I love the extended family being involved because family is one of the most complex things on this planet. You can do so much with it and still not fall into the dysfunctional trope. I just think the dysfunctional trope has kind of limited our creativity, and I'd love to see more of that creativity come back. Okay, next one. This one, I've been seeing it pop up in some writing circles, not all, but some, and that is second person. Anyone who reads my writing knows I am a huge fan of third person. That's usually what I write because I usually jump all over the place and I go to different locations. First person, if done well, is a lot of fun too. I have read some books that are written brilliantly in first person, and it works great. Second person, I could not get into second person. Um, and I really think the reason why is, for those of you who don't know, second person is you, the reader is the narrator, essentially. And I don't like it because you have to make a whole bunch of assumptions about your reader. And sometimes they just don't work. I've read quite a few where they're describing a scene, usually an action scene or emotional scene, and then they say, you did this, you felt this. No, I didn't. I wouldn't have reacted that way, and it just pulls me out of it. And I do acknowledge that's why second person is very hard to write. I just don't like it. If that's something you want to try and you think you found one that is really well written, let me know because I want to check it out. I want to see if somebody can prove me wrong. But thus far, if it's in second person, I will usually put the book down. All right, last bit of unpopular writing opinion. I hate open endings. And by an open ending, I don't mean that I expect everything to be wrapped up in a neat little bow. I understand that sometimes there are plot points that we leave open on purpose because not everything wraps up neatly in life. But if you're going to end a one-shot story with not all the plot lines lined up because you want to create a sense of mystery or anxiety or whatever in your reader, I'm going to be mad at you. Because to me, that is not good writing. That's lazy. I usually assume that just means the writer didn't know how to end a story. And most of the time, that assumption is not true, but I have nothing else to go off of. And I just think sometimes writers go to this because they're trying to create a sense of mystery. I think that's usually what they're going for is let's make the person think about, what might have happened, what could happen. And there's ways to do that while still wrapping up your main plot points. But if you're going to leave your major plot points or some of your major plot points completely unaddressed and just open, I'm sorry, I don't like you. I don't like that writing style. I don't like that writing choice. And that's just me. I understand that some people love them. I'm not one of them. All right, guys, thank you for sticking around to the end of my video today. So, as I've promised, we are going to be having our first giveaway because we have hit 50 subscribers. So I'm going to be giving away 3 prizes. I'm going to be giving away a copy of The Planet Construction Kit, which is a book that I started world building with. It is one of my favorites. It's an oldie, but it's a goodie. I'm also going to be giving away a copy of A Storm of Silver and Ash by Marion Blackwood. You guys have probably seen my review for it. And a third one is going to get a $20 Amazon gift card. So in order to enter, all you have to do is, if you have not yet subscribe, and drop me a comment below with your own unpopular writing opinions, because I know everybody has them. I will pick 3 people at random, and I will announce the winners next week, so next Sunday. So thank you guys for chiming in for this video. I look forward to reading your comments, and as always, if you have suggestions, let me know. You can always follow me on social media, and until next time, I hope you guys have a good one.